So once again, I'm live, and this is gonna be kind of an interesting show. I think we got Judge Joe Brown coming on, but I also got um, um a special guest, guy from Richmond, Virginia, actually with me. Um, I said I'm gonna bring him on and tell his story. I mean, you might not like his story, you may not like it, but he got the right to speak just like everybody else. Um, yeah, he's got an interesting story. Um, got a coffee shop called Brewer's Cafe, still running. He went into some. He got into some shenanigans, I guess, in 2022, and you know, it's interesting to say the least. It's very interesting. I will say that. He's got an interesting story to tell, and I don't really care about how people vote or what they do or whatever. That's not really my business. Um, Only thing I can tell you is be informed of your decision because you got to take care of your own self. So, it is what it is. I mean, technically, um, people just have to really really, really think about what's going on, how they handle this, how they handle their own ideals. And they have to know what they're up against. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, people don't know what they're up against, and you don't know what you're up against. You're always going to end up in a uproar. I would say people really gotta just sit there and you know um, really think about how the last, I would say, 20 years has been really, but since I've been 18 years old or 37 now. But I mean, how has life really been the last 5 years, 4 years, 8 years, 10 years? And it seems like we're free surge sinking into the abyss. Right, so that'll be my guess for the night, one of his things up there. And you know, it's very interesting. So that's AJ there. Um in Tanya Richmond, I mean, go to Brewer's Cafe, great coffee, tea, bagels, etc., etc. And they have juices and things like that as well. So it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's good to always, know stuff. Now I live out here in Chesterfield, but I do drive down there about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, to go to the shop. At least 2 days a week, sometimes three, maybe. Depends on the area. I always go back, where I live at and stuff like that. You know. Oh shoot. What's up, man? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm doing this show right now, so yeah, yeah. I gotta get in touch with him. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. I got Judge coming on too, so yeah, just yeah, okay. What is in the hospital with? Okay, yeah, give me. I'm gonna call you back on it. I call you back on it. And you can tell me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you the number to call into the show. All right, I'm gonna give you a number. About after I let them talk, and I send it to you. I got you. Oh, okay, thank you. I got you. That was a great friend of mine. He's calling. Shout out to Doctor Randy Short. Anybody knows Doctor Randy Short? He's in the hospital, so I look out for him and things like that. Just to make sure he's straight. Um, so that's just people go at it. Okay, so that's that. I just but he's gonna call in. Um, he's gonna call in and he's gonna let me talk to things. He want to talk about what happened in Chicago with Trump. So, but I guess he was down there associated black journalists. So I don't know where my man is. I don't know where my guy is. But I know Joe Brown is coming on and so forth. Like, oh man, you actually in the shop, man. What's up, man?
Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear, brother.
Are we loud? That's what's up, man. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure everything is good. Hey, can you let me push this in? I just want to get a little closer so I'm not too far off the camera.
No, you're fine, man. It's okay. Let me.
All right,
I
you see
need.
me?
Hey, man, I see you fine, man. So
Oh,
how
awesome.
things going?
Awesome. I'm great, man. I'm running around, man. I almost missed this call. My phone, I dropped my phone in the pool. I've been at
Oh man, that's
AT&T.
okay.
Look, I've been at AT&T for the past 3 hours. But
What's
we
going on?
good. I got my phone. We everything's straight now. I'm doing
What,
great,
what,
man.
what
You know,
what
I'm at the
happened with the
shop. You can
phone?
see. Huh?
What happened with the phone?
One of my sons went swimming with it. Went swimming with my phone. Long story short, I didn't have insurance, man. I had so much stuff to do. I literally spent this entire afternoon at AT&T. But we good now.
Oh,
They hooked me up. I got a new phone, and one thing I know: if I ever hit the lottery, man, if I ever make it big, I'm gonna get rid of a phone. I can't stand phones.
you know what? It's mighty funny. Last week I was at the pool, and I was in at a resort, and my phone it went hot, and the phone actually I could feel the text, I could feel the phone ringing, all that, but the screen was black. I had to find a store down there, and it was actually closed. But I called them at the last minute. They said the guy said, "If you give me $80, I can fix the screen in 30 minutes." I got the screen fixed, and that was
Yeah,
that. But they were trying to give me another phone at T-Mobile, but they said we can mail your phone, and by default, we can't cut the screen on. We can't get your information out of that phone. And I told them, no, I need to get the screen fixed then because I'm not gonna get a new phone if I got to give you all
yeah, man. Yeah, I'm
that.
tired of the phone game, man. I'm so over it. I'm telling you, if I can get rid of anything in my life, it would be the cellular phone. The access that I have to everybody and everybody to me, and the temptation, the time spent on the phone, man. You're getting angry watching people say stuff online. It really just is not a healthy device, to be honest with you, man. I think I put too much time and effort into it.
Well, well, speaking of that, so speaking of that, I mean, I know you, but people in uh, the other in the chat or whatever didn't don't know you. So tell them who you are. I know who you are. I mean, I see you all
Yeah.
the time. I
Yeah,
mean,
man. Hey, all good. Ajay Brewer, from Richmond, Virginia, the heart of the South. Grew up, born and raised right here in the city. Went to city schools, went to private schools. I always tell people, man, I had humble beginnings, but I was blessed enough to experience living in the hood and what that looks like, and then kind of escaping a little bit with some of the schooling I was able to attend. Um, But went off to college, became a stockbroker, worked in DC for a little bit. Well, really my whole working career, I worked in DC and Northern Virginia, and just had a midlife crisis at 29. Knew I wanted to do something better, see something better. I was tired of complaining about the things I couldn't see in my community and that I wanted to see. And one day I just had an epiphany. I'm gonna be the change that I want to see. I don't care who follows me. I'm not sure if Harriet Tubman cared if anybody followed her. She knew she had to get the hell up out of there. So that's how I ended up at Brewers, man. A good friend of mine suggested the idea. Hey, man, you gonna quit? Go ahead. And, let's open up a coffee shop in the city. Plant our roots down here, raise our kids here. No, don't go down to save anybody. I can't stand that savior mentality, but just be a walking, talking, breathing example. You know what I'm saying?
I got,
So,
I
yeah.
got,
So,
I got you.
yeah, heck yeah, man. So
But
what? 10 years ago, I quit my job. I was working at TD Ameritrade. That was probably the best experience of my life, walking out, being a good performer, not getting fired, just, on my own terms, walking out with my head held high, knowing at 29 I'm about to make some serious moves in my life for the greater benefit of myself and my kid. And man, I just did it, bro. I just hustled my way to loans and friends giving me money and, investors giving me money and just putting everything I had behind this dream of mine to build a coffee shop, bro. So I built that shit. 2015, we opened up. Was not easy. Running, raising money, borrowing money, getting into extreme debt, losing the fiance that I had at the time. Going through endless years and pointless just nonsense through the juvenile justice or what do you call that place? The juvenile courts and
yep,
fighting
yep.
to see my son and dealing with health crises and all the while just trying to run an empire, trying to create something that I think would be long lasting for me and my family to benefit from. And that's what we've been doing. A lot of folks don't know this, but in 2022, 2019, 2020, I came down with kidney failure. I've been dealing with that for years. Like I was on dialysis for about 4 or 5 years before anybody even knew, I was struggling. I just kind of kept that to myself. And right around the time where it got a little more serious, I made a comment about political policy that I thought was a
Go ahead and talk
good
about it.
decision.
I,
Right?
I, I
Yeah. No,
want to
I mean
talk about it. Go ahead and talk about
we
it.
no we can get into it. You know what I'm saying? I'll
Go ahead
keep
and talk
introducing
about it.
myself. Yeah, we get into it. I didn't appreciate how much we destroy our kids. We destroy our unborn. And most people don't even know this about me, bro, but I'm not religious. I'm not an atheist, but I don't know what the hell is out there. All I try to do is live by the golden rule, bro. Respect me, I respect you. I don't touch hot plates because I know I'm gonna burn myself. I don't disrespect anybody because I know they're gonna disrespect me. Most importantly, I spread love because I want to get love. And so that procedure of killing our unborn, finding out that we are 40 something percent of the abortions, finding out that less than 1% is due to, major issues like rape or incest, that the vast majority of our beautiful sisters are killing their kids without father input, without decisions. I don't know the couple that I was involved with, it wasn't my choice. I didn't have an option to say no. It was their choice. It was their and their mother choice. It's just kind of like the juvenile justice system, bro. Like it's always the father last. You know what I'm saying? It's the mother first. And and that just disturbed me since I was a child that we was able to kill our children, bro. So I said something about it. And if I can finish a little introduction before we dive into that, when I said that, bro, boom.
Go ahead.
Age, everybody that I helped, everybody that I helped open business, everybody I gave money to, every teacher that I helped, teachers would call me, AJ, I need help with this and that. It's nothing because it ain't for them, it's for the kids. All of these people, all of these businesses that I helped create, dump me in the trash can. No, you can't be a part of Black Restaurant Week. I got letters from Black women in the city. No, you can't be a part of our Black farmers market. No, we don't accept you as us anymore. So at that time, I'm like, fuck it, bro. I'm gonna just say I fuck with Trump shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say what they want me to say. You know what I'm saying? Because look, the good news is ain't it, look, no, that's
Well,
real shit.
wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Now, this is kind of funny, though, because I want to bring something up.
Yeah.
This is for my listeners. Did not Dr. Jill Biden come by that restaurant? I'm pretty sure she did.
Yeah, she came by. Uh-huh.
Has she been by since?
No. Of course not. Of course not. No, I mean, the larger picture is if we go political, right? Every one of these politicians that asked me for something, everybody who wanted to be buddy with AJ, everybody who wanted, oh, I'm gonna go see AJ. Let's meet at AJ shop, and let's ask AJ for this or that. I want his help in getting me reelected. I want to put a sign in his yard. All of these people, AJ, can you, our city council here, I think her name Ellen Robertson. Hey, can you
Yeah, I
provide,
know she is. I know these
can you provide us with food and this and that for free? Of course. Let's go ahead and do this thing, man. We're trying to get everybody politically involved. Every politician. I had the mayor of our city on our porch. Right before he got reelected, just to help him out, see what we can do to help him out. None of these
Oh
people,
boy.
we don't talk to AJ no more. It's just so crazy. A lot of the business opportunities that I had before this, oh, we got to go talk to AJ. Let's get AJ in the casino. Let's put Brewer's Cafe here and there. None of that exists anymore. None of that. And all because I shared my opinion to my personal Facebook page that I didn't rock with a certain procedure. And now AJ hates women. AJ rapes women. AJ's a pedophile. AJ doesn't respect women. AJ hates me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I mean,
bro. So
I know
now,
it was crazy, man. I mean,
yeah, look,
it was
I can't
crazy.
even blame the Democrats, bro, because the Republicans do it too. Look at Amber Rose. I don't watch Matt Walsh. I don't watch all these characters disrespect this young black lady trying to join the Trump train or whatever, or just really for real, just expressing her own ideology, being able to say that. She already getting canceled by the lefties. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no other purpose for serving or being politically involved except for whenever somebody does something they don't like, they cancel them. But the Republicans do it too. So I told everybody who helped me throughout that process that just so happened to vote Republican or lean Republican, they would cancel me in a heartbeat if they found out how I feel about Gaza. They would cancel me in a heartbeat if they found out really what I truly felt about all of these other issues. What I found is that if you ain't extreme right and you ain't extreme left, then you just up for cancellation. You know what I'm saying? If you're not dressing in a skirt, if your kid ain't a transgender, if your kid ain't a black person, if you're not claiming some sort of victimhood, oh, you up for cancellation, bro. You got to get the hell up out of here. You can't speak your mind. Have you lost your mind? I had a black man tell me that. Hey, AJ, like, you know what I'm saying? I rock with you, but you shouldn't have said that. I would never speak my mind like that. I got a family to feed. I'm letting my wife hear this shit on the phone, somebody telling me not to speak my mind. And I'm like, she looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with people? You're living in a Twilight Zone, bro.
Woo! Hey, slow down for a minute. Let me say something. So I'm gonna bring this about my way a little bit because I want to bring something up. So I know you grew up in Blackwell. Well, I grew up just for purposes because I grew up on 27th Street on Midlothian, right there by the fork in the road. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you're very familiar with that. So I went to some private schools, graduated from George Williams in 2005. Went to Southside Baptist. I think I went to Commonwealth Christian. I went to I think when it was Ephesus. Yeah, Ephesus Academy. Okay, so, but I knew because I always, come. I mean, I live in Chesterfield now, but I'm saying like I come to your shop all the time. Even my house, I live 10 to 15, about 13 minutes away because my dad still lives in Southside, and I
Mm-hmm.
still have a lot of friends there. And actually, the only reason I moved out of that part of Richmond because the city tax in Richmond went up at the time. Now they're going about here, but that's a whole nother story. I didn't really need to bring all that. But I'm just letting you know how things going up in Richmond. I mean, you see it yourself. Areas in Blackwell getting gentrified, this place, that place. We know what's going on. So we ain't crazy, right? Them $300,000 homes down there on Sims Avenue used to be a trailer park, all that other stuff, right? So, I mean, when you come here, this is not the Richmond that we grew up in. This is a different Richmond that's got a. I mean, I'm just being honest. A lot of outside interests are here. That's running a lot of things, and they got to see all these politicians downtown. Let's be real about it. That's why they came at you. It wasn't about that. They were like, you disrupting the apple cart. That's all that was. Right? Now, I'm gonna ask you a question because you've been posting this. I got this video right here. Actually, you right here. Yeah, you. Yeah, that's you, right? I'm fucking with you.
That's a good looking man. Who is that?
But look, I want to say this. I'm glad you bounced back after the cancellation. But I was a little bit, look at this video and I said, I got to call him up because he put the video out and he said it. Now, I don't believe them women donate no daggone. These people donate $2 million on their damn Zoom call, but they did that more power. Well, no, not more power to them because they could have gave that to you, me, anybody in Richmond. You can raise that damn money. Why can't you do it for everyday people? Am I correct? I mean, that's a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me play your video right quick. I'm gonna play your video right quick. Then you explain that.
Want to control your life and they're the answer, that's when things get worse. When the people rise up and say, oh man, Blackwell was over there. There's the school, there's kids over there. AJ knows hundreds of those kids. There's inner city youth that could use our help, that could benefit from programming. Myself personally, I'm building a gym. I'm fundraising right now to build an entire gym for the community, for especially young boys to benefit from, to be a safe space, as the liberals say, to be in a space where they can create their own. They can watch people create their own. They can then be incentivized by business owners and coaches and teachers. That's the solution, not writing checks to Kamala Harris. When the government thinks that they're going to control your life and they're the answer, that's when things get worse.
You said not donating check to Kamala Harris. Now, let me say something about this. I don't really care about this, right? But I'm going to bring this up because when I was young, I used to play at Fonseca Park, Brewer Park, Brewer School. I played basketball at all these places. Now I just go rock with most of them. Just put it out there, right? But what I'm saying, I might go to Huguenot, something like that, Park or something like that. But what I'm saying is we had all those. I mean, do you realize that, outside, oh, well, yeah, I got a question. This lady, Miss Dawson, in the chat, she was on the phone with you one time. She wants to know how can she donate to your gym. Is it so? Go ahead and go ahead and explain that first.
No. So we are preparing to make a real marketing push to build that gym. I won't go into too much detail right now, but to be honest with you, we have not created a funding mechanism to raise that money specifically. If she wants to donate to our cause, I do have a Cash App. And it is Ajay Brewer, AJAYBREWER, just my name. And at this point, although that's where all of the money will go, we have yet to set up an official link, an official document, official promotion video, because we want to make it right. I am very disappointed and disgruntled about folks donating money to the federal government. And so I just wanted to push out this message even before we were ready to push out the message on our own. So although there is a place to donate the money, again, AJ Brewer, Cash App, AJAY Brewer, we have not created the marketing material behind it, and we haven't really officially pushed it. We've received donations from private folks, people I've kind of talked to on a one-on-one basis. But because all of that money came through, I just had to say something about it. And I know that folks, especially with folks
get it from the people on the Zoom call then. Get it from the people on the Zoom call. No, I'm just joking. Get all the people on the Zoom call. Get all the people on the Zoom call.
Get all the people on the Zoom? Yeah. No, well, we will.
Get it from them. Get it from them. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, no, I can put them on yours. In short, I'm being a broken record here, but in short, we have not released an official promotional video or letter around the fundraising part of that gym. But our Cash App is live right now. What I would say, anybody who follows me on YouTube or Instagram, just keep following me. We'll begin to talk about that stuff once we're ready to really push that out. Again, sometimes current events force me to say things a little before I'm ready to say them. But to be honest with you, I have a team of advisors. Me and my wife have been planning this for quite some time. We have scouted locations, and if anybody knows anything about being a business owner, you don't have much money. So I just wanted to plug that and say that because it was in relation to what she was saying. But yeah, yes, it's Cash App, AJAY Brewer. We probably will do a GoFundMe, but we just have to figure out the best way to do things, and we just haven't figured that out. So if anybody's listening and wants to help in any capacity, whether it's financial or logistically, and to be honest with you, logistics is kind of where we need most of our help because we just don't even have anything started outside of a plan, a drawn plan, a plan that has been drawn up by me and my wife. But thank you for whoever's trying to donate. I appreciate it.
Listen, let's bring us something. Actually, you got, I know the two children I see on chat, but I've seen when I come in there, even other kids, sometimes on the cold mornings, the kids are coming to shop and, they'll sit there and wait for the school bus and things like that. So they feel like a loving environment. Let's just be real. Right? Now, this is my thing with this whole thing. And I look at it, I'm pretty, well, you know it, I know it. I mean, let's be real. There were people that were attacking you. They're probably, probably still coming back in your shop right now. You know what I mean? They probably say, well, I think he forgot about that. Look, fair weather friends, as they call it, I would say, right? Right. Mm-hmm. But I did not appreciate that. In matter of fact, the lady who is talking, she actually was in your comment section back then with that. And there were some, I would be right to put it mildly, some rabid feminists, as I would say, in that chat. But, I can't lie, it was some men too. So I wasn't, everybody was equal to opportunity employee that day. Now, that spot you had then? I don't know, you hear me. Can you hear me? I don't need blacked out or whatever. But the spot you had, I think it's owned by some Chinese guys now, Golden Lion or something like that. It's in the same place. I can't remember exactly where it's at, but that's where it is. So, but yeah, that's AJ. Oh, he must. Yeah, I think he got knocked off or something. Maybe somebody called or something. But he should be back on. Now, I got to pull this video up, man, because I got to pull this up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. I hear you.
I disappeared for, I don't know, about 2 or 3 minutes. I couldn't see or hear you. I had to log back in, bro.
I don't know if you can see this comment because she's asking a question. She's saying, okay, is your real name Anthony Parker on Cash App, not trying to dox him?
Yes. No, that's Parker is my son's name. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, Parker is my son's name.
Okay. Well, just text
so
it
to
me.
My name is Anthony, just FYI. My first name is Anthony. My son's name is Parker.
Okay. You won't just text it me and I'll text it to her and let her send it to you. Is that cool?
Okay.
Yeah, text it to me. Now, so I know you mentioned some pandering stuff, and Judge Brown said he'd be on his short list. I want to bring this up. Then what did you think about this? Since we're talking thing, what did you think about this on? What day was that? Tuesday. And I just was in Atlanta on Thursday. Maybe I should have stayed.
To celebrate Team USA, Xfinity is bringing you a gold medal deal. Now through August 11th, get our best off.
In the mob with him, mama have a ball with
him. I mean, I don't want to play it because the music playing on the background, but what did you think about that thing? I mean, what did you think about this whole show they did?
Okay, here, let me say this. This is what I say. I say the number one problem we have in the Black community is lack of good fathers. Now, I don't believe the narratives that there aren't any Black fathers or that we are in the minority. I think the majority of Black men are great fathers. But that small 20% of us that are kind of, we just can't get right, so to speak, there's a lack of father representation, right? So that's number one. Number two is our culture. Our culture is toxic. Even when there's a feel-good song on, like this song that Megan Thee Stallion got, which I have no problem with, she's not teaching our young daughters the right things. Now, I don't believe in censorship. So I say, Megan, go get your money, dance how you want, dress how you want. But in that audience, I don't believe that was not the message to be sending. Because what's happened, I don't know if you follow comments online, but you follow the Shade Room or Baller Alert or any of these other black media outlets, they're sympathizing with her. They are, hey, that's our music. Go ahead, girl, do your thing. This is what we should be doing. We need to celebrate our sexuality. And this is what I feel like. The same reason why I'm mad at Matt Walsh and any other conservative, my friend John Reed, who has a problem with Amber Rose speaking at an event. I have no problem with Megan speaking at a Democratic event. If Amber Rose put on some short shorts, had her nipples out, and had slut walk right written here, that's not the right opportunity to speak. You don't dress like that in front of that audience. Forget who's in the audience. It's about who's watching you. Same thing with Meg. I think Meg did what she was supposed to do. I think the Democrats pander to us. I don't expect Megan Thee Stallion to do anything different. They hired her to do something, so she did it. But because the morality, the value system amongst our people is so low, they accept anything, especially if the Democrats pander to them. Because the response is, oh, well, Trump and the Republicans ain't playing our music. That's quite irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as I play music that I think is really toxic, I don't do that in front of my sons. I don't embody that image. I don't play that. When you come into my shop, you're not going to hear Pooh Shiesty playing, cursing, talking about toting guns and killing people. There's a right? Right?
You're
There's
right.
a place and time for everything. And I think that's how I feel about that. It just reminds me of how much they pander to us, talk about our black skin, dress like us, talk like us. You put somebody who looks like us in front of the screen, they believe that that's going to win. And to be honest with you, they're absolutely right, BJ. There might be a group of people who vote Democrat who are like, oh, no, this is not how we need to be going out. Shout out to Meg, but we can't be having a black woman shake her ass in front of TV, right? There's going to be some good black men that's going to say, no, that's not the right thing. There's going to be some great black women that's going to say, no, that's not the right thing. Shout out to Megan, but no, we should be shaking our ass in front of a political audience for the world to see. That's kind of the wrong message, right? Maybe say that for the nightclub, right? But I think the message is so useful and they know it's so powerful. You put on a black song, you put a black artist in front of them. Think about it, BJ. You and I are the minority. The folks watching here are the minority. As many people who watch MSNBC or Fox News are the minority. The vast majority of people, bro, don't pay attention to this shit. My sister thought Donald Trump was in jail. And my sister's not an idiot and she's smart but she's not paying attention to this shit. So listen, the people who this is going to work for are the people who do not watch the news today. They're going to remember, oh, my girl Meg was on there. I'm voting for Kamala. Oh, they say Trump is racist, and I believe him. And they had Meg, and he ain't gonna have Meg. So I'm a, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, to me, you can have both, right? I can respect. Saying I'm gonna just make the comparison. I can accept Amber Rose as a conservative, right? Or somebody who wants to vote conservatively and understand that she has a different moral compass, so to speak, if she feels like it's okay to say or do some of the things that she feels like she wants to do, because I'm a libertarian. I don't want to impose my will on other people. I say get it how you live, but there's, again, a time and a place for everything. And that was quite embarrassing. It was so embarrassing, I just had to skip it. I got secondhand embarrassment for it. I couldn't even watch it, bro.
Well,
Yeah.
I understand you. I understand completely. Now, it's funny, before you got on, it was a friend of mine. He was at I think Donald Trump was at the National Association of Black. Matter of fact, he was the National Association of Black Journalists.
The journalist.
And he lives in Chicago, actually. So he, actually, he told me when when I tell him to call, he gonna call and he gonna tell you what really happened down there. Cause he actually goes to all this stuff. He was actually at the Republican Convention and all that. So he knows about what really happened, not just these media reports. See, these media reports are very skewed. But when you got people who are actually there, that's what actually counts.
Where was he? You talking about the black journalist?
Well, he lived in Chicago, but
I'm saying he was where?
He was at the RNC.
Oh, okay. The
Yeah,
RNC.
yeah. So
Okay.
so he was there. But he was just saying, but he lives in Chicago. As a matter of fact, because he had called me and he was just telling me about that thing that was going on. And I told him I was on the show or whatever. So I told him, matter of fact, I'm gonna try to put him on speaker because I want y'all to hear this.
All right.
Just let me see if I can call him. I'm gonna call him myself.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me see what he can say. Because I don't want to. It's like I think an hour off time. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right. Hey, look. I got I'm gonna give you about 3 minutes. Tell me what happened in Chicago. Yeah, I hear you with the music. Okay. Yeah, that's my buddy Paul down there in Chicago. So he.
Okay.
Yeah, so what's happening, man?
Doing a show with my buddy down here in Richmond. He got blasted a couple years ago when he didn't support the Roe versus Wade decision. But I told him you was at the National Association of Black Journalists, so I'm on my show. But I put you on speaker so you could tell me what happened because you did call me.
Well, guess what I found out?
What you find out?
They interviewed me, and guess what I found out?
What you find out?
I found out that the black male vote is the swing vote in this election.
Okay.
That's why Trump going after it.
Okay.
Because Kamala got the sissy vote, and Kamala got the black woman vote. But the black man vote is the swing vote. I was just down there at the Harris Hotel. They said that they interviewed black men in 120 cities.
Okay.
And that out of the 120 cities, that all the black men said that they are frustrated that every time it comes to them dealing with their issue, they got a black woman up there. Specifically a black woman that even from America. And that this Kamala thing ain't nothing but part two of Obama. And that she ain't even talked about no black people shit. Now the girl that they had during the interview, that was interviewing Trump, all her talking points were liberal talking points. What about abortion? Black folks ain't trying to buy no abortion. What about gay rights? No, we talking about what about us getting some money? Talking about a bunch of no money, a bunch of not putting black men to work, a bunch of no family stuff. And so they saying now that's why Trump is soliciting, because he got the same statistics. He got the exact same. I was shocked. This was one of the reporters.
And you were there?
Yeah, they were out. Look, man, I just walked down and see what was happening. They had Trump at the
National Association of Black Journalists
Hotel.
Oh, so okay.
So I go down there. It was like a police station, because they had tried to kill Trump.
Okay.
And it was just like a police station. Police, CIA, FBI, DEA, bomb sniffing dogs. All that shit was there.
Okay.
All that shit was there. So their whole demonstration was, what is we gonna do? What is the black man gonna do? Now, we sitting in a seat that Malcolm X talked about. That black folks ain't got in a situation where these black women who done fucked their thing up. It's every spot in Chicago. We done had a black woman mayor, black woman state's attorney, black woman commissioner, Breckwinkle. They in all the head spots. Why we fucked up?
Well,
that means y'all in there talking about a bunch of no money for us.
Hey, you're right. Hey, look. Well, look, I want to say this. before I run off and continue this show, I want to say this. I want to give shout out to Dr. Randy Short. He's in the hospital, and I just want to say I hope he gets well. Yeah, I found out about it, I think, the other day. So I need to find, you tell me what hospital in later. But thanks for letting me know that report, because that's a good thing that you do it, that you were there. Because we need to find out. And look, the Democratic National Convention is in Chicago, and they can nominate this woman probably virtually. So that probably means they're gonna cancel all the festivities. So I know you probably gonna be down there.
That's right. Well, we're gonna see how that play out too.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, what they talking about is this. What is the black man gonna do? They just had a meeting last night. They had a meeting on the internet last night where they all was in one room. It was over 100,000 black men and women in there talking about they not voting for Kamala.
Oh shit.
100,000.
That's good. Okay. Hey man.
100,000 last night. And I had to hang the phone up, man. I can't be listening to all this stuff there. And everybody in there was saying the same thing.
Well, look, I would say this.
Black politicians is talking about a bunch of no money.
Hey, look, we ain't talking about no money, ain't nothing funny. Hey, look.
That's what the whole thing is talking about.
Yes, sir. Well, look, I'm still on.
Hey, man, I live in a city, man, that you come from another country, they'll give you stamps, they'll give you a place to stay, they'll give you so you can buy food. And here we born and saved this for every war in this country. They ain't never gave that shit to us. Hell, they ain't gave that to white folks.
You got it.
They never gave that shit to white folks.
I be there.
If these white folks don't look out, they'll be gave their country away. They keep playing. They let them keep playing around.
Hey.
Let them keep playing around. Letting them people play the game. They will mess around. They ain't gonna even have a country. Yep. Hey man, I'm gonna let you go, okay? Yeah,
man, I'm still on here, so just keep on watching. But thanks for calling me and giving a report. Always giving the rundown. Stay strong, brother, down there in Chicago, and keep it real. Love you, man.
Well, all right, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's my buddy Paul down there in Chicago.
Okay.
You know, he always, I've been down there to meet him and stuff like that. He's a good guy. Always let me know what's going on. There was some piece of but they're trying to keep the Democratic National Convention. But I mean, you can't get mad what he's telling you. He was there, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I want to say one more thing right here, and then I'm gonna show you this because this happened the other day again.
Trump directly.
Donald, I do hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because as the saying goes, if you've got something to say it to my face.
At a raucous rally in Battleground, Georgia, including rap megastar Megan Thee Stallion.
I'm so happy to be here, Atlanta.
The Harris campaign trying to ride an intense new wave of enthusiasm among young Democrats. A new poll suggests she's gaining ground in critical swing states, especially Michigan. The vice president now just days away from choosing a running mate. A source telling NBC News she plans to campaign with her new pick for the first time next Tuesday at an event in Philadelphia before hitting other battleground states later in the week. Asked whether she'd already picked her VP. While in a new interview, former President Trump arguing she'll be viewed as weak by China and Russia.
I think they'll walk all over her. She'll be so easy for them. She'll be like a play toy.
His running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, attacking Harris in Battleground, Nevada.
She is dangerously liberal.
But Vance is also drawing new scrutiny for referring to some Democrats without children as, quote, childless cat ladies in 2021. Now, a separate interview from 2020 is resurfacing.
And almost always, the people who are most deranged and most psychotic are people who don't have kids at home.
Overnight, in an exclusive interview with NBC News, Vance saying his comments are being misrepresented. Quote, what I was criticizing and continue to criticize is a particular neurosis in American leadership that I think leads people to say crazy things, like you shouldn't have children because climate change is a threat to the future. Former President Trump also slamming Harris for what he says are her views on Israel.
Number one, she doesn't like Israel. Number two, she doesn't like Jewish people.
Those comments, even though Harris...
Well, that's a... Hey, I'm going to put this out there. Okay, let me say this about some things that was said in there. That got me was the thing with the say it to the face thing, right? And I'm looking at this thing like, well, you didn't show up at the journalist thing. That was my thing. But when I was kind of like you said, it's not her fault for pandering. She's just using the lines and comments that what's his name? Quavo and Meg or whoever rapper. So it's a bunch of pandering going on here, as you said, right? Right?
Yeah.
But it shows you the fact. And I want to say something. You worked on Wall Street, right? Wall Street backs political candidates, right? Mm-hmm. So my thing is, you understand the game of how these people run their game. And this thing is, like my man said when he called, he ain't talking about no money. So what you talking about? Mm-hmm. He ain't talking about no money. You're just talking about vote me, and reproductive rights is not well, I know it ain't an issue for men. It could be for women, and I don't. You know what? That's so funny, though. Now that I think about it, I don't have women come to me and tell me about no reproductive rights, hardly, in no regular conversation. And I don't come up in the conversation. So this movement seems like it's even more online generated than even, because regular people are not saying this. You understand where I'm coming from? They may talk about on the surface. They might talk about it if you get into that conversation, but not just walking around talking to you every day, not talking about this.
Well, I don't know if it really matters if the political powers to be are pushing it as a number one agenda. So let me explain it to you this way, right? Every single Black woman that I talked to about that issue since it happened that I posted about that issue, which has been about 2 years now, all of them say that abortion is wrong, say that either I wouldn't do it, or if I did it, I'd feel awful about it. But I want everybody else to be able to do it. So what happens is that they take the onus off of them because they say, oh, I wouldn't do it or it would make me feel bad, but they want protections for other people. This is why I say most people don't vote for their rights. They vote for the rights that they think other people want or other people need. We like to be parents. Oh, so they need it. Poor Black women, the white women, right? Poor Black kid who got pregnant. She needs this procedure. Instead of leading with love and finding a way to make sure that the child is born, they view it as healthcare, and you just can't win that argument. Trust me. I've had intimate conversations with people who are very close to me, Black women, and there hasn't been, and I'm not full of myself. I'm sure there is somebody that can compete with me on debating that issue, but I have yet to find anybody who's willing to not concede my points in that this is a procedure that is overly used. They just announced they're building another Planned Parenthood in our neighborhoods in the city of Richmond. I don't know if you saw that, 300-something million or something like that. But you just can't win the argument because the argument used to be pro-abortion, anti-abortion. Now the argument is women's rights. I had a conversation with a woman that I know for a fact hates abortion. But in our debate, older woman, 60-some years old, I can't see myself voting for Trump. And Kamala, I might have my opinions on Kamala, but Kamala, she's for women's rights. And I'm like, Miss such and such, what the...
Come on, man. Oh, my God. What the hell? Oh, shit. Here we go again. Yeah, that's pretty much the deal with that thing. Hey, look, man, it is what it is. I mean, hey, man, you can't be mad. I mean, hey, man, that's what... I gotta find out what this Planned Parenthood again is, though. I know about the one on 25th Street or something like that, and that's in Churchill. So I don't know where that one is, but I don't know what his new one is. But maybe I won't pay attention. Dang, so you got me on that one, brother. Uh-oh. Hey,
Can you
hey,
hear me
look,
now?
there you go. No, you got knocked off a minute. But fill me in first. Fill me in before you go any further. I know about the one on 25th Street because it's right there by that new farm market in Churchill, and you know that's easy to get because you got Mosby, Creighton Court, Wickham. Well, Creighton has kind of been torn down halfway, but you got the 3-4 housing projects or whatever. That's easy to get to right there. But what is new Planned Parenthood clinic in? That's what got me.
So it came out on the news the other day. I don't have more details than that, but I'm sure if you Google Planned Parenthood, Richmond, Virginia, to be honest with you, bro, they building them shits everywhere. So it don't matter if they was built in Richmond or not. But yeah, they just announced that some building that used to be something is turning into a Planned Parenthood. And I don't really know, you know what I mean, what it is. And it's so alarming. We don't even know how that group got started. And then the folks who do know how it got started, these are the type of people that be like, hey, America's racist because of how it started. This place is racist because of how it started. But they still rely on this organization that was started by a eugenics. It was started by a person who wanted to get rid of us. But it just doesn't register because, again, we have been beat over and over and over again that it's not an abortion comment, it's an anti-woman comment. It's almost as if they forget how that seed got into the woman in the first place. It's not an issue for black men. It's not an issue. You can't say nothing if you're a man, right? Because they've spun the argument to women's rights, and it's just a tough argument to win. That's the truth.
Well, hold tight. We got Judge Brewer in the house. How you doing tonight, sir?
Hey, all right. You know, they hacked into my phone, and I have a hell of a time getting on anything these days, especially if it's something like this. They just don't want the word to get out there. Censorship. But anyway, here I am. So
what's up,
let
Judge?
me catch up.
Let me bring on CT.
How you doing?
This guy is the guy that I had on your show one time when he was talking about how he was ostracized by the community. They wouldn't let him come to events and things like that. You talked to him before. But we talked about a lot of things. He's been trying to raise money down here, you know, because he's saying, how could these women donate, or with people in general, donate all this money to Miss Harris? And, you know, the community is still in shambles or not in the best straits sometimes. He's just saying, what would make these people donate all this money to that, but not donate to him or anybody that's trying to do something of good?
But it's traditional. Slavery did not work without the complicity of the black woman. Yes, she got raped, but the bottom line was is she wanted to see her grandchildren, so she protected her children, and that meant teaching them to be good slaves. I researched this at great length more than a half century ago with a DC think tank that I was interning to, and the slave pamphlets were all clear on it. It's like raising horses. And I know that because my ex-wife tried to raise horses on this ranch we had out in California. And if you kept the foal with the mayor, she would domesticate the foal for you. If you weaned the foal from the mayor and took the foal off, then you would have extra work to do because you would have to domesticate the horse. So the idea with the slave masters was to have the female slave domesticate her children for the slave master. And that was one of their secrets of the slave process. Now, what you see with Harris, it makes no sense. It's cognitive dissonance. Black women are always complaining that they're being taken for sex objects, but yet they go identify themselves with a sex object. So many of them claim to be woke, and they refuse to associate with Caribbean blacks. They refuse to associate with African blacks. You know, they're coming in trying to take advantage of our situation, but they sit there and sniff up the hyena behind of somebody that has absolutely no ADOS connection to the United States. It doesn't make any sense. And what that reflects is an inferiority complex that's trying to enhance itself by finding anything that they can latch on to that seems positive to identify with. It's like Kamala Harris is an Indo-Aryan anthropologically, INDO-ARYAN, the same one for the Aryan Brotherhood, the Aryan Nation, the Nazi Party. That's what you're talking about. But you see, Aryans look like Kamala, but the Nazis told a big lie so the Germans could latch on to those who had something to do with the origin of Germany, which Aryans did, but they came from India, not the far north. But they lied and said they were blonde-haired, blue-eyed, but that's an example of tell a lie long enough, loud enough, you can get anybody to believe it. So the world believes that the typical Aryan is blonde-haired, blue-eyed, not swarthy with dark hair, dark eyes like the woman here. Her father has no African black ancestry. Her mother has none. So how does she get to be black? See, it's a fraud. All through, and it's on X all day long today. All through the last 30 years, she was this and that Indian, this and that Hindu, this and that the first Indian for this. And now she becomes black all of a sudden after 28 years of being an Indian in California. She went to a okay law school, but it wasn't one of the best in California, and went to Howard. So she gets out there and she is what she is, and everybody's bragging about the first Indian American to do this and do that, and then when it becomes convenient, she becomes black. Now, Trump was in front of the Black Journalist Association, and the ignorant moderator tried to jump him about calling her a DEI hire. Now, all day long on X, you can see the quote, not the quote, Joe Biden during a press conference, and he's saying, we need diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's why I am choosing Kamala Harris. Well,
Yes, he did.
goddamn, that sounds to me like that's her purpose for hire for day
That's what
one.
he
So
said.
how did Trump lie? And then Indian. So where did she become black? So he said it. First she was claiming Indian, and then she wants to be black. I don't care which, but I mean, maybe she needs to make up her mind so you don't get fooled.
Well, now, you know, it's funny, Joe, you hit
Effer.
it right on the head. You hit it right on the head, Judge. I've been watching and hearing in my coffee shop. Did you hear what President Trump said about Kamala Harris, that she's a DEI hire? What do you think about that? I'm thinking to myself, forget what you think about whether or not she's qualified, whether or not she's a good candidate. Joe Biden himself said, I want a black woman. What is the definition of DEI if that's not it?
Well, he said DEI. He said the
it?
words. He said the specific words. We need diversity, equity, and inclusion. That is why I am picking Kamala Harris as vice president. He said the words in the same sentence, not in the same paragraph, but in the same sentence. So what the hell?
Yeah. I think, sorry, y'all, I'm messing with this camera so much. Go ahead and say what you got to say on the phone. No, yeah, I just think I was just apologizing for me keep fiddling with this camera. I'm trying to get it at the right angle, but all right, brother. But it's just so strange because, I think what happens is we so offended, right? Anybody says anything to a transgender or black person, it's just we're like we're the capital of the victims, right? You can't speak about black people, you can't speak about trans or gays or anything like that. As soon as you mention the word, I had a good pastor friend of mine talk about this woman who, or I guess she turns out to be a woman, but everybody thought she was a man who beat the other girl up in the Olympics, right? So everybody saying, oh, this is not fair, she's transgender. Instead of coming to this clergyman's side and saying, hey, maybe this should be looked into, they just killed him. They just attacked him. You know, he can't say anything about that. And so I think my issue with Kamala being a DEI candidate is that not that people, so most people are smart, right? Joe Biden's not going to pick an idiot, an all right, just a black woman who's an idiot. He thought she was qualified. So nobody needs to take offense to whether or not he thinks she's qualified or not. She could be qualified. But the moment you look at me and say, hey, I need a black coffee shop over there, I need a black woman over here, you've already demoralized me and you've given me one of those little step stools that I don't need. I don't need it. So if I'm good enough, if I'm Kamala Harris and I'm good enough, don't worry about what I look like. Because I don't want anything that's not, I don't earn, right? I don't want you to look over me. Think about how Elizabeth Warren feels. Don't look over me. Don't pass Elizabeth Warren because you want a black woman. It's also strange. I never saw this whole Indian black thing. I didn't even see that stuff until today. I did not know that she didn't characterize herself as a black woman. That is alarming.
No,
being that the whole world sees her that way, but.
Okay, now my ex-wife was born in the very same hospital in the same year as Kamala. All right, same 12-month period. My mother-in-law, now late mother-in-law, ex-mother-in-law, was a pediatric nurse in the same hospital where her daughter and Kamala were born. She might have helped deliver Kamala's ass. But one thing I noticed, all right, my mother-in-law is white and my father-in-law is black, big black man, 6'4", 200, 340 pounds from Memphis. All right. You know what it says on her birth certificate from that hospital?
Caucasian.
Race. It says race. No, I'm talking about my
your
ex-wife looks more white than her, but she's part black. You know what it says? Negro is race. It says mother's race, Caucasian. It says father's race, Negro. It says child's race, Negro. On her birth certificate, within the same 12-month period at the same hospital, it says national origin of mother, India. It says race of mother, Caucasian. It says race of father, Jamaican. It says national origin, blank. Do you think it says Negro on there? No, it doesn't. It said Negro for my father-in-law, but it didn't say that for Daddy Harris. See, they put Jamaican in there where they were supposed to put race or ethnicity. They did not. It was an error. So also, she put out her yearbook when she was in California. I was out there 15 years at the height of her glory out there. And we thought she was an Indian, a Hindu. And she put her yearbook out when she ran for Attorney General in San Francisco, District Attorney General in San Francisco, and then State Attorney General for California. It says in her high school yearbook, she attended school in Canada from kindergarten through 12th grade. She even lied when she was campaigning against Biden, saying
she was bused. That wasn't true.
She got bused. No, it wasn't true. Chick never went to school in the USA. Or she lied when she put out a yearbook. One or the other. Take your pick. K through 12, or was it second grade she was up getting bused? Now, the thing about getting bused, it's interesting. She was born in 1964. Her sister was born in 1967. She would have been 3 years old. So they left and went to Canada in 1968. She would have been 4 damn years old. So when did she go to the second grade on a bus when she's up there in Canada?
You know, you schooling me, Judge. I had no idea. I mean, I'm just so focused on the fact that every time Trump opens his mouth, we just think it's the Antichrist talking. You can't even, that conversation that you just had, Judge, is what I would have amongst my family who are all Democrats. But once we step out the house, if they hear Trump say it, they see somebody with devil horns on there. You know what I mean? It's like he says the obvious truth in this situation, but because it's coming from him, you know,
Well,
AJ, do you
let
see
me
what
tell
Trump
you.
said? How can you support him? I'm thinking she's not black. She's not white. You know, I mean, excuse me, she's not black. She doesn't claim black. It's like we would say that amongst our own peers. I don't get it.
Well, look, her daddy said his Irish ancestors owned a lot of slaves. There is a thing that I posted that you got me, Bernard, which is the thing from the Irish historians. They looked up the family. They said her ancestor got 11 million pounds, which is about 24-25 million dollars at the time, which would be a whole lot of money now, because that was payment for all of the slaves he had on his Caribbean plantation. She gets her Irish ancestor as the slave connection, not through being birthed grandchild, great grandchild to some ex-slave. She didn't have any slave ancestors. Daddy said there were no slave ancestors. They were either Hindu from India or they were Irish. And that's what the dad says. So he wrote an article on it. I have it in a Jamaican periodical somewhere around the house. They've changed what they put on the net. But I also talked to him. I don't even know if he remembers it, but I had a big afro at the time, and we were sitting at the table for the Governor General of Jamaica. My ex was talking to him. So she's a fraud. Now, the other thing, what is making politics look so bad and why they're casting Trump as the devil is for this. We do not have regular politics. We have some people trying to impose a cult faith, as in a religious faith, on the whole United States. I've said, and Bernard's heard me say that, you may have heard me say, we're not going to get reparations with a lawsuit. It has to be awarded as an enablement and Appropriations Act through Congress. The Black Caucus has done absolutely nothing to help that out. Why? Because they've resigned from being black to become a new ethnic group, the rainbow. And see, what's going on is damn near every one of them, except maybe 4 or 5, is a member of the Liberty Caucus, which is the LGBTQIA caucus. So what they're trying to do is they're acolytes, they are disciples, they're trying to proselytize and impose this religion, this faith on America. You can't put a cross, an Islamic crescent, a Jewish star, the 6-limbed Hindu god. You can't put a Sikh emblem in there. You can't put an image of Buddha in a school
Put that flag up
auditorium.
there, though.
You can put that damn rainbow flag up there. You can't teach any of the rest of them, but you can teach that damn rainbow all day long, 5 days a week from K through 12. You can do that garbage that they did for the opening ceremony at the Olympics the other day, which was just flat out obscene. And see, they made their move too soon. They put on a Bud Light commercial where they had that freak in the blue panties in a bubble bath trying to take a 86% customer beer and turn it into some kind of sissified freak stuff. And it backfired. That's the reality. And propaganda is on board because too many people in the mainstream media, the communications industry, the news industry, the entertainment industry, and too many in politics, particularly in the Democratic Party, are off into that rainbow cult, and they're trying to spread their new religion. Just like they had Torquemada burning heretics at the stake, and you had jihad, and you had the Crusades, and the 100 Years' Wars, the Protestant Reformation, the Salem witch trials. You have that kind of thing going on right now. And to them, Trump is a sorcerer. A block of them getting their faith established firmly is that of the United States. Now, it's not like they have principles for this. They're nihilistic. They're about nothing. They don't have duty, honor, obligation, accountability, responsibility, dependability, consequences. They don't have something in there about making where you live a better, safer, more secure place filled with economic prosperity, sense of purpose, law and order, and public peace and dignity. They don't have that. It's do any damn thing you want to. There's no accountability. Nobody is supposed to be able to say anything to you. No matter how badly you F up, somebody's supposed to take care of you. Everybody's supposed to be awarded a participation trophy. Mommy is supposed to protect you from bullies and adversities in life. Big brother, trans big brother who still got a dick but tits, that's supposed to protect you and mind you so you don't get out of hand. Everybody's supposed to be a damn sheep with their nose stuck up the next sheep's butt. And you've got a high priestess, the humping hyena, and all of these women are supposed to be sniffing her butthole because they're supposed to be gathering around the head hyena bitch, and excuse me, that's the technical name for, so, well, it's what you call a female dog is a bitch. So the rest, they got their noses stuck up the bitch's ass trying to sniff it and follow along. And it's absolutely ridiculous to see black folk do that and respond to that propaganda put out by the party of the slaveholders. They follow this Democrat stuff. And why is it that the Democrats got picked? Well, 55 years ago, they were trying to gain black people as their staunch supporters, which they did. And now the Negroes have been domesticated and they don't want to leave the zoo. That's where Biden wanted to put them, so they're still in the zoo in the natural habitat cages, or they're benefiting from raise $19 a month to the Save a Negro Fund. So Jamal and Tamadika won't have a hard time in the winter out in the kennel in the backyard, and they happy. And they picked the Democratic Party to be the one, since it was hooked up with acclimating people to black, restoration, it was easy to morph into, well, we've got black, restoration. We're going to put the other colors in there too. And if you look at the new rainbow flag, it's got a black shivering in it at one end. So you can see what they're doing. But don't fall for this cult. And why the hell you want to get into the party of the slavers, I don't know. They got chartered second decade of the 19th century, 200 years ago, for the purpose of protecting and spreading slavery in the expanding United States. The Republicans got chartered in 1851 for the specific purpose of abolition. That means ending slavery. So now the party that was trying to free the black man, that fought the Civil War to restore the Union, got the Emancipation Proclamation, the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendments. They're supposed to be the boogeyman, but the party of the slaveholders who started the Civil War to keep slavery, who started the Klan and all of that Jim Crow nonsense to keep the Negroes in semi-slavery, separate but equal, all that other stuff. Now, these Negroes love them. And they got all their little mammies running around acting a fool, protecting that hyena who has absolutely no connection with them. She's not black, and even if she was, she's not ADO. She has no damn connection with the United States of America. So you got a Bush bunny fool, Obama boy, who has absolutely no ADO's connections with the overwhelming majority of black America. He's got no black slave ancestors or anything in here. anybody black that went through Reconstruction and segregation. And now they're all nose to butt with somebody who has absolutely none at all, has no damn black ancestors in the United States of America, and they in love with that heifer. It is ridiculous.
Well, let me ask you a question, Judge. Let me ask you a question, then I'm going to let AJ go. Just because I'm gonna play some of these. This lady actually interviewed you, Crimson Cure, too. Because I want to play something that Kamala said in here that you know didn't make sense. But what do you think about the little performance of Megan Thee Stallion the other day up there in Atlanta? I just was in Atlanta.
Did she see? Did you hear her talking about slap her coochie on the Oval Office?
Did she say that?
Yes. What kind of bull is that to try and campaign for president? What is going wrong? Black women being associated with sex objects, so they get somebody up there twerking, talking about slapping their coochie, pussy power, so to speak, literally, as a campaign for president.
I saw her stick her tongue out.
What the hell is going on here? You would think black women had more pride and respect. I think a lot of them do. And I think what is being played is the same group that Budweiser thought they were going to appeal to when they put that freak out there in the bubble bath to push Bud Light. It didn't work. They misread it. That's about 4 to 7% of the population.
Drag Queens for Kamala.
Oh, yeah.
A commercial called Drag Queens for Kamala. So.
And then RuPaul. That was the first somebody she made the appearance on. That's what she's doing. That's what they had with that Kanye Jackson scratching her head, didn't know what a woman was. She's a shield put in to push that new cult faith, the rainbow. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to pervert all of it. Destroy the family, manhood, womanhood, childhood. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. Look, I say this. Look, so here, this is great. I live right here in Richmond, Virginia, Judge, and I'm in the heart of what's a historically black neighborhood. Guy named James Blackwell was an educator. Manchester was gobbled up by Richmond, and because it got gobbled up, Richmond didn't allow black principals, so he got demoted. Yada yada yada. They made it right. They named a school after him. Named the neighborhood. My son plays for the school. We live right here. I don't really harp on race a lot, Judge. You don't really know me that well, but hopefully you can assume that, I really don't care what color a person is. I'm a merit guy, right? I do find, I was writing in my podcast the other day, I do find camaraderie with my black brothers and sisters because I'm a black man, right? But I don't necessarily try to be an isolationist when it comes to my people, right? I think that diversity is important. I do not believe for a second that anything should be mandated. I don't want anybody to feel obligated to work with me. But I think what ends up happening, right? Because you were talking about that beer company. I was following that guy. His name is Dylan Mulvaney. I was following him off of day one because a friend of mine shared it to me. And I didn't think it was going to go long, but I was following him well before the Bud Light thing. And here's what happens. And correct me if I'm wrong, Judge, because you got a little more wisdom than me. But the reason why Bud Light did that is I would just assume this. They hired a lady or a guy who believed in that ideology, and there was a boardroom meeting. And she probably got her voice louder because she knew that they weren't allowed to discriminate. And so it seems like all of these institutions that are changing, evolving, pandering towards a certain ethnicity or pandering towards a certain group have somebody working on the inside. Probably back in civil rights time, maybe when you were a young man, that was the talk, right? We need some black folks on the inside to help change this. And I think that's what's happening. My sons, Judge, I got 3 sons, 11, 9, the 9-year-old turns 10 next week, and a 3-year-old. I got a black woman right across the street. My mother, who lives next door to me, right across the street. My family helped build this neighborhood. I got a unique opportunity, and I shared this with you guys before. I got a unique opportunity to open up another coffee shop on Hall Street, a historically black neighborhood. I got canceled because I stood up for abortion rights, right? And so they canceled me, threw me in the trash. AJ's done, he's done. I'm dying of a kidney failure at the time, so I'm really not even concerned about the coffee shop. Long story short, my wife ends up giving me a kidney, but that's another story for another time. Now, when I look at that place, Judge Bernard, when I look at that place, there is a Black Lives Matter flag hanging. There is an LGBTQ plus BLM plus whatever else they can attach to the flag.
And a Chinese shop.
And it's look though, 2 years ago, there was a black family right there playing sports outside. They're playing tic-tac-toe outside. There was an image of a positive black family on Hall Street in the middle. This might as well be Tulsa, Oklahoma in the 20s. I mean, this still is a happening area, a very developing area. Next block, Judge Bernard, the next block, Island Yoga Fitness. A black guy who opened a yoga studio to promote fitness and wealth. Now, he probably went through some troubles. He ended up closing. He didn't get pushed out or anything. But what's flying in his face now? An LGBTQIA, Black Lives Matter, ran probably by some white folks who probably come into my shop, right? I welcome everybody. It don't matter to me what you look like. But it's so alarming. No, that's true, right? I mean, anybody, look, we can talk. I'm not a hateful person at all, right?
I know.
But and the cancellation isn't on my side typically. It's typically somebody saying, oh, AJ thinks differently. I hate him. I can't talk to him anymore. But that's what's happening, Judge. I think the folks are being groomed at a very early age to believe in these ideologies, blacks and whites, so much so that they would rather see that image of the LGBTQI plus flag flying in black businesses that were formerly black businesses that were shut down by the crack academic that stayed there for 30 years empty until a black family or a black man opened up that business, only to be replaced by exactly what they want to see. And what's so sad, Judge, is that we are doing it to ourselves. No longer are we being pushed out.
You know what we're doing to ourselves? You know, a lot of folk, even the ones that have the most to say about being black, you know, they got to put on all the show about it. They really don't like being black. But what LGBTQIA, the rainbow cult, lets them do is they can turn into resignation and become a member of another ethnic group. All they got to do is the 6B initiation. Unbelt, drop breeches, drop boxers, bend over, spread butt cheeks, and get boy banged, and now they're a member of the new ethnic group.
Wow, boy. Hey, look,
I mean, it's real.
I want to continue this conversation so much. I love having this conversation, Judge. It's always a pleasure meeting you guys. I actually do have to run, Bernard, Judge, anytime, man. I just got my start. I've been going on Fox News every once in a while. I get a chance to talk on Newsmax. It's great. I love what they call up. I love when I get a chance to talk to you. Not too many times can I sit in front of I got a friend here now I can debate with, but not too many times can I sit in front of somebody and talk politics because people just don't want to hear it. And I think without this public square, without exchange of ideas, without expressing ideas and then exchanging those, we don't really have a community anymore. So I just want to thank you too, man. I really enjoy talking with you. I really wish I could say it.
I knew you were friend. I knew you friend. I knew you got a wife, kids, all that. You know, wonderful family. Look, man. Hey, look. I mean, you know, I ain't no stranger. You see me all the time, so you can talk to me anytime. I come there all the time, dude. Almost like 2-3 days a week at least. So it don't even matter, right?
I'm enjoying the conversation. So anytime. You know, I can't get on Fox. They blackmail me, blackballed me.
What happened?
They don't like me because of what I'm saying now. See, I'm just not. They hate this. I had the #1 and #2 daytime syndicated show in America when I left CBS. I just wouldn't put up with that mess any longer. They kept saying, do one of these a public service announcement for the gay community. I said, you're on your own. You know, you have a right to do it, but don't put me in it. But it's tied up with black rights. No, it's not. You're just parasiting over it, you know. Parasitizing.
If I was one of those folks who marched and protested for black rights, I would be. I can't understand how we allow our movements to get hijacked by other movements. It's like, hey, come on in. Don't build the wall. Let's build up English as a second language. It's not as though Blackwell Elementary School isn't struggling. It's not as though there aren't 97% of those kids on free lunch. Hey, why don't we take that $2 million and build a subdivision? Why don't we plant some seeds into the community? Why don't we build up our own thing? But we allow these movements to get hijacked.
But because they're trying to set up a new religion. I'll tell you about that. 55 years ago, there was unity, third world unity. The Hispanics and the black folk at UCLA, along with the Asians, we were all cooperating, right? And we would take members of the other ethnic group on tours. So I remember one we got taken on down to Ensenada, a bit further south from Tijuana. And we got introduced to this woman that had 25 children. And these Catholic priests were talking about that they were trying to get more Catholic souls to save, all right? And what they're doing, I think, with all of this welcome in, crash the border, is they're trying to get more converts to the rainbow. And also numbers who become servants, who become concubines to the cause, so to speak, male and female concubines, who can be put to work for the cause. And I think that's what they're doing, because they have to play a numbers game, because there are very, very few of them. It's not like Walt Disney and Marvel want you to think half the population is that way. You have less than 0.5% tranny in the country, less than 1% lesbian, and less than 1.5% is homosexual male. And you have maybe 4% bi, who tries stuff and might swing both ways. So that's what, 6.5 to 7.5%, depending upon where you are. But they try to tell this lie and make everybody think that they're 50% of the population. Like I said, get your freak on in your bedroom. That's where you can do what you want to do. Nobody needs to be in there. But they're trying to pervert that, and they have a coalition where they've got perverts of a different nature, pedophiles who molest children, who are part of this coalition, trannies that the rest of the gay folk don't like, because if they like guys and they're a guy, they don't want some gal to be coming up and got a twat instead of a dick. If they are gals and they like gals, they don't want a gal to be stripped down and got a dick. You know, they don't like that play stuff, and they don't like what happens with women getting jacked up by boys in panties and sports bras and claiming they're women. So there's a thing about it. It's the faith of nihilism. And Negroes flock to it because they can be members of a new ethnic group and resign their Negro commissions.
I couldn't agree more with that. I definitely think that the selling out is not on my side. It's not on Judge Jules Brown's side. Bernard, please call me back, man. I want to talk to Judge some more, get some more wisdom, man. I'm gonna let you guys have it.
Anytime. Hey, wait a minute. Text me the cash out so I can put it in the group chat, then I can send this lady
okay.
thing.
Yeah, Judge, I got time to talk to you about that later, man. I'm building a youth facility here in the city, and I was inspired to get that thing going after I saw so many millions leave our community. But we'll talk about that later. I'll text you, Bernard.
Hey, Judge, Judge, go to his coffee shop. Come down to Richmond, go to his coffee shop.
Yeah, come on by, man. Next time you're in the South, man, come on to Richmond. We're gonna show you mad love, man.
I'm in Memphis.
You in Memphis, Tennessee?
Yeah.
Okay, you ain't too far.
That's about 13 hours.
Oh, that's never mind. That's far. That's far.
I've been there though. I've been there.
Okay.
I've been there.
I gotta run, guys. Thank you again so much, man. Always. Please call me back. Let's do it again.
Man. Take your
All
time.
right, guys.
All right. Thank you, man.
Yep.
Have a great night. All right, Judge. Look, Judge. So I was thinking about you, man. Look, man. Look. I ain't gonna be on too long. I got some things to do myself, but I wanted to show you something that Miss Harris said recently about us.
I'm getting tired, Black vote, pandering, how they perceive standing, and had in Atlanta featuring Meg Thee Stallion. But I just want to allow you guys to watch 2 videos. And I wonder if y'all are tired. yet of all these people playing in our faces. The Republicans play in our face and the Democrats play in our face. It's just that the Republicans are more forward. You know, it's difficult to hide the disdain, right? And I prefer that because that's what it really is. In the reality, do that. I think the part that gets into the Black community or disagree with myself, and I want you, we really gonna talk about it.
So I am not playing around. So what you got, right, Marlon? So I know how to make a mean pot of greens. In fact, people used to ask me to make greens for them for Christmas. One year, I had so many that I had to wash that we ended up washing them in the bathtub. So I am not playing around. So what you got, right, Marlon?
Did you hear what she just said? She pandering so hard.
All right, Judge. She used to watch collard greens in the bathtub, Judge. What the hell is that about?
I don't know anybody washed collard greens in the bathtub, and I'm talking about 70 years ago watching relatives from the South. They did not watch any damn greens in the bathtub. So where in the hell is she getting this BS from? That, you're right, that's pandering. That's like take your booties to the poll. Any damn body fool enough to fall for that and be persuaded that's how they vote is too damn stupid to vote. And the prospect of these Negroes running around here trying to call somebody coon, and they're lined up behind their old slave masters, let a foreign devil come in here who's got no connections to them or their lives or their history, and they're sniffing up her hyena butt. That is just absolutely absurd. That's embarrassing. And I don't care if somebody doesn't like me for it, because, you know, I come from an era where we ran the dozens, where we talked about folks' mamas. And by the way, Trump ran the dozens on that heifer and made her look bad. And did you see Pillsbury Doughboy with chocolate chips rolling, sitting in the front yelling and disturbing, and then got jumped and embarrassed by some white reporter afterwards for acting a fool? Why were you screaming in my ear? Why weren't you on the stage? Yeah, why weren't there some black men up on the stage? See, I'm sick of this crap where they act like there are no black men that got any sense. All of them got to have a mammy directing them. And how they do the mammy, they get some bed wenches on the first floor, move them upstairs, and if they do good, when they get a little gray, they make them mammies. And they put the mammies out to back up the master.
She don't care, Judge. She watched collard greens in the damn bathtub and shit.
She lying. I heard that.
What kind of shit is this, man? This is fucking bullshit. I said, hey, look, ain't no way. Look here, man. All thing you putting in the bathtub, women putting bubble baths, soap suds. You ain't putting no food in no goddamn bathtub, you lying witch. That's fucking disgusting, man. Come on.
And
man.
you clog the damn thing up anyway.
Hey.
And that fool hasn't picked any greens. You know why you pick greens? To get the goddamn bugs off and get the stems out. My mother has been dead, but she was born in 1917. And all of her friends, they wanted canned food. They didn't want to be working around trying to deal with that primitive stuff. Just like nobody wants to sit there and boil some rice for 3 hours. You want to put it in the damn microwave, you know? Heat it up and get it on. They wanted it out of cans. And one of the reasons they didn't like to pick greens is because knocking all these worms and bugs off of the stuff. Yeah, and after you did that, then you had to go back through and take the stems out. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. And I'm sure she didn't either. But you don't pick greens in your bathtub, fool. Like, what are you trying to do? Feed the whole damn dorm floor? Everybody got the...
Speaking of that, Howard University canceled a party at homecoming this year too. Come think about it. Since she stayed with the Howard, they canceled a party at homecoming too.
Yeah, well, I'm making a point here about the absurdity of her position. I'm waiting for the other lie to come back and haunt her ass. So everybody's supposed to have the munchies. So you're supposed to have a bathtub full of greens, not a sink, but a bathtub full of greens, because the whole damn dormitory is high and has the munchies. And that's when she was sitting up in the dorm room smoking a J while she's listening to an 8-year-old Tupac who miraculously passed back in time to do some recording. Lying heifer. And then that makes her a hypocrite when you look at her record about how she jacked up young black folks having simple possession of marijuana. She gave out the toughest sentences in the United States to black kids, but not the white ones.
All right. Let me pull some things up on Miss Harris right quick. I ain't gonna put it up on here because these fools, they like to try to run the ragged and try to take everything down. All right. But let's pull up some things on Miss Harris since it's not being talked about. As a matter of fact, Hillary Clinton was in Houston yesterday campaigning at Sheila Jackson Lee's funeral for Kamala Harris.
Took the thing over.
Okay, that was one thing that happened with Kamala Harris. All right. Now, Ms. Harris took money from firm behind Jeffrey Epstein plea deal. She criticized Jeffrey Epstein, said she was against pedophiles and all that. But then she pocketed money from Jeffrey Epstein's firm, as a matter of fact. It's very interesting, huh? Right?
Don't forget One West Bank and George Soros and Mnuchin, who got 5,200 counts of indictments returned against them, and she dismissed them. And Soros sold the damn bank for $4.2 billion a few weeks after that. Yeah, she's been helping out the big time folk.
Kamala Harris also would not prosecute pedophile priests, those Catholic priests out there in California. She wouldn't do that. And mothers for truancy. Now, she's running on being a prosecutor. That's what she's running on. She's, I'm going to prosecute Trump. Right. Well, according to my record, Ms. Harris, you took a $5,000 donation from Donald Trump in 2016.
Yes, she did.
So you kind of in a little trick bag, but I will give her, she's a chameleon. She changes colors and she go wherever the wind blows. Now, she did used to hang out with Willie Brown and Montel Williams. And that's probably one of the last time you seen her really wearing a dress or anything like that nature.
By the way, did you hear the joke going around X talking about Kamala Harris got her black DNA from Montel and Willie?
Yes. Yeah. Hey, look, man. But look, let me see what else on this video. Hold on for a minute. Let me find out what else on here.
There she done lied, y'all. And you want to know how I know she lying? Because it ain't a black woman worth the salt going bread that will ever wash no food in the bathroom or the bathtub. Do you understand me? I don't care if we got to drain that sink 5 times. We gonna wash them. We got to wash a bunch of greens. We wash them in the sink. We cleaning the sink out really, 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 really good. Okay. And we're gonna put the stopper in it. The stopper's got to be clean, and then we're gonna wash greens like that. So this is how I know she's lying. Aside from the bold-faced lie that she just told, I believe he brought
to our NVIDIA silent partners.
I'm Martin Weiss.
Brought me this far to leave me. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024. I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
Well, there you go. That's Hillary Clinton, and that's Kamala Harris. Birds of a feather flock together.
The Heifer Brigade.
Now, Judge, I think that people not really understanding the context of what they're doing here because, had a guy tell me, called into dissension, with the wife and stuff. You don't want to support her. You don't care about women. Blah blah blah. All this other nonsense. That don't mean you don't care about women because you don't support Kamala Harris. You just questioning whether she's somebody to listen to you. I mean, I got women that tell me they don't like Kamala Harris. They know she's phony.
Oh, a bunch of women. Damn near most of the women I know can't stand her. They don't like the association.
I mean, but
they
she,
say I work hard. I didn't sleep my way to the top. Is what they're saying.
Oh yeah. With Miss Harris, is sleeping her way to the top. I call her. You know what I say, Judge? She climbs the corporate ladder. She climbs the ladder, the step ladder. But it's very interesting how this thing is going for her and the things like that. Now, I'm gonna ask one more question before I go. Oh well, somebody asked, will you go on Alex Jones' show again?
I was supposed to be on there the other day, and what happened is he had an emergency come up, so he had to cancel everything for the day. But that was this Friday. That was like either Monday or Tuesday.
So Mills Lane, he probably be on Alex Jones' show again. Good show with the Art of Dialogue and with Kwame Brown again. I will admit, you've been bringing down. But this is the thing. That's why I didn't understand why some people, I don't know who they are, but they made comments and things and talk about Judge Brown and Ron Hurd, saying things about Kamala Harris. You've been talking about Kamala Harris for years. It ain't this ain't no secret. You've been talking about Obama for years. Matter of fact, who endorsed Kamala Harris? Barack Obama, who actually turns his birthday is tomorrow, actually, which go figure that one out, right? Dang, right on cue, right? But they're planning to virtually nominate Kamala Harris. But
no debates, no internal debates with the Democratic Party. Not one citizen out there getting a chance to vote in the primary. And in the back rooms, 3,200 delegates, with a third of them, so to speak, being super delegates that can override everybody else. Who can override everybody else? They're going to decide who's going to be their candidate. So they take somebody who has had the lowest ratings in American history as a vice president or president, and all of a sudden she's going to be a front runner. See, that is propaganda. I know it. It's a propaganda tactic. You tell a lie and you say you get people to want to get on board with a winner by lying about that person's support. And I'm just absurdly disturbed by all of these bootlicking coon Negroes flocking around trying to be swept back up on a plantation for a new, strange, freak, degenerate cult faith and become acolytes, disciples, and become, considering the nature of it, concubines to this new faith. It is ridiculous. It's embarrassing.
I got another question for you, Judge. I don't know who Mills Lane is. I asked Judge Joe Brown about his
I know
account.
who Mills Lane. Mills Lane was one of the early TV judges. He also was, he was also referee at a lot of those prize fights in Vegas. Let's get, when they'd say, let's get ready to rumble, he was a bald-headed, slight referee that they always used.
I asked Judge Joe Brown about his encounters with the elites without naming names.
About the what?
Encounters with the elites without naming names.
I'm not sure I heard that properly.
I put the comment up. I asked Judge Joe Brown about his.
Let me read it.
No, that's a YouTube name. That's not. That's not a person. I think that's a YouTube name they got.
The elites. Somebody's saying encounters with the elites. Yeah. See, what we call elites, they're not really heroes. They are adults who, for their entire adult lives rather, they have been perfecting the art of taking fantasy and making the unreal look real. In other words, they're faking it. So why in the world should you listen to somebody who's been doing fake as an authority on political science and political analysis without them doing something else to demonstrate it? What kind of sycophant, Negro, slave-minded foe sits up there and does that? Malcolm talked about that years ago. 60 years ago, 64, 2 years ago, 1962, I think it was. And he was talking about the fool Negroes who listened to celebrities who did not do anything but distract them. And they looked to these celebrities for their guidance. So why are we supposed to be looking at Megan the Stallion? I mean, a stallion is a male. So what is that?
I'm saying there's a style of the male horse. I'm about to say a style of the male horse.
So what are we looking at? What kind of freak amphibian is this we're looking at? Who's twerking? And we're supposed to, like 4 years ago, we were supposed to go out and vote for the Democratic Party because they had bare asses on a strip pole. And then Valerie Denise and I interviewed the woman that put it on. We looked it up and turned out that 1/3 of them weren't even women. They were trannies. So you're just looking at bare butt, and that's supposed to influence you to go out and vote? What is this?
Oh, man, Judge. They got you coming and going, I got to say. But
they have themselves coming and going, because I'm wise enough to look at it and say, you got to be a fool. Well, like, get off the plantation, fool. You don't have to stay there. Quit sucking up to that. Get some sense. You sound idiotic.
Well, Kamala Harris.
Yeah, she does. They love that.
Kamala Harris is, I know she met with Sigma Gamma Rho the other day and some other. I know she's going around meeting a lot of women groups, but you know what gets me with this thing? And we talking about all the people. My thing is, they so mad, but this reminds me kind of like they say they're for democracy and for election freedom and all that. Well, by not giving your voters a chance to vote, isn't that election interference?
That looks like damn Nazism. And they're the ones that have Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all of that censoring everybody, not for full frontal fucky pornography, Pornhub stuff, but for just simply having well-discussed opinions that are contrary to the faith. See, that's where it comes in and it goes wrong. They're trying to set up a totalitarian government. That's what they're doing.
Well, let me say something. The fact of the matter is, and I'm going to say this before I go, everybody get all these articles on this woman now because they are solely pushing down the search results and moving it lower in the search bar. They're going to make it hard for you to find. Okay?
They're removing them.
Yep. They're removing her search results.
Remember, this is a former prosecutor who knows good and damn well that if you disarm the honest public, all you're going to do is make them easier victims for the crooks who aren't about to get disarmed. So she's already bragging she's going to disarm the American public with an executive order in the first 100 days of her regime if she gets in. That's unconstitutional, but she's going to try it, and everybody will have to go to court, and that'll be a mess while it's pending. So we don't need that kind of stuff. Defund the police. This is the heifer, the humping hyena that was out there while all that crap was going on in Ohio, burning up the areas, a lot of black businesses being destroyed, and she was raising money to bail these little riffraff out, these little vanilla cupcakes with doing the BLM thing out while they were burning down the cities. They weren't even targeting right places. They were targeting black folk, which is black businesses, which is disgraceful.
What did that say, Judge? What does that say, Judge? Gun safety groups announced endorsement of Kamala Harris president on July 23rd, 2024. This is Moms Demand Action, which is actually a front group of Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg, this is his group.
They want to disarm
They
want to disarm the peasants so they can be more easily forced to convert.
That's so when you were talking about gun safety issues, that is right there. Gun safety groups announced endorsement of Kamala Harris for president.
This week, she got up on the mic and started talking about she promised that the first 100 days would see her ban firearms with an executive order. And of course, you know what that means, don't you? Who is it that has all the 20 million guns out there, the 420 million semi-auto carbines out there, and the 400 million guns? That's more than people in this country. Who do you think owns them? You think they're going to let them get snatched away?
Hell no.
She's setting up a damn disaster.
Well, all right, Judge, let's pull up another one here. Let's see who else endorsing this nut. Okay, I know she got Emily's list. That's the abortion thing, so that's too easy. Watch this. All right. All right, here we go. Christian Post. All right, Judge. I didn't even see this from yesterday. There you go, Judge. Drag queens back Kamala days at the VP host of Queer Eye appears on RuPaul's show. Drag queens endorse Kamala Harris.
Is this hyena the same hyena that's out there hollering about Project 25 and Trump when Trump says he disowns it? But this heifer is getting endorsed by and appears on this filth and garbage? Am I wrong? Isn't it the same one that it was talking at?
Okay, I got two questions for you before I get off here. The guy, Mills, do you think Johnny Cochran was eliminated because he was pursuing reparations and asked Judge Brown the assassination attempt was JFK 2.0, but this time they double-crossed the fall guy?
I think it was fortuitous. Trump just looked at the right moment somewhere else, otherwise he'd be dead. And the other thing, this guy is an amateur. You shoot for the triangle right here, right at the throat coming down this way. You don't take the shot at the head because the head's too mobile and somebody is prone to looking suddenly and you'll miss your shot. They almost did on Dr. King. They hit him in the cheek, not square on. And he should have aimed right here, but he didn't. So Trump.
I think more than one shooter too, but
well, if you had, I don't think they needed more than one shooter, because the point is that this guy fired 3 shots, and there are 3 hits. A grazing hit on Trump. One guy got killed and one guy got wounded up there standing behind him. It was general incompetence. If he had been killed, people would have said, oh my God, we messed up. And see, the incompetence, I think, is damning, because the incompetence that you saw would have been good cover for a specific plan, not necessarily where they put that boy out there, but they knew about him and they let him go ahead and do it. Or they figured the way they were treating Trump like he's got horns, some crazed fool would try to take him out. And then let's make it easy for somebody out there, and the odds are somebody will try. So if he's successful, we can kill him so he can't talk about it. And we'll all say, oh my God, it was horrible. There was a security lapse. We shouldn't have done it, but now we got rid of him. You see.
So, and he also asked this guy, so do you think John Cochran was eliminated because he was pursuing reparations?
What do you mean eliminated? Johnny Cochran's been dead for a while, so
eliminated, killed, like whatever.
no. I know him. I hadn't lost so many of my contacts in my phone when it got hacked. I can get them back if I can figure out how to get this fool off. But Johnny Cochran was really stressed out. He was opening up a national law firm consortium, and a lot of stress, and his health left him. By the way, speaking of health, you know, Hyena Girl, she does, tomorrow will be today and today will be tomorrow. So that's why we have today, because it's tomorrow. Serious business. You know what that is?
Schizophrenia.
That's a symptom of early onset dementia. She's 60 years old. And at my age, I've had friends and acquaintances who have started getting demented at 58, 59, 60, 61. And by the time they're 65, they're gone. They may still be breathing, but, what did you say your name was? I just told you. I'm your brother. Oh, okay. Who's my brother? Me. I have a brother? Yeah. And 2 years before this guy was all right, he was out at the club with you. See, I've seen that. So it's early onset dementia for real. That circular mess, that word salad, is because they can't focus to get from point A to point B. So all they're doing is circling around an emotive state based on a thought they're having.
What do you think of being crunk? What do you think of being crunk?
I don't.
Okay, there you go. I don't. Let me
you know why I don't?
Go ahead.
I want to see him try a case.
Well, let me say this.
Johnny Cochran tried a lot of cases. Joe Brown tried a lot of cases. Willie Gary tried a lot of cases. Thurgood Marshall tried a lot of cases. When are we going to see a trial? And the reason I say, when are we going to see a trial? Because if you haven't tried a case, you're still a rookie. And when you're a rookie, you don't get big settlements. You get little ones that people do as throwaways. And you don't make any law, because the only way you're going to make a law is to get up on the appellate level and set some principle that other folk can use. So when are we going to see this?
Well, let me bring this up, Judge. I want to say I put the number in earlier for AJ, but AJ had to go, and that's understandable. We got a wife, kid, and things like that. 3 kids, so he had to go. Right, so that's fine. I'm gonna bring him on next time for a Q&A. People can ask questions about his business, all that stuff. As for you, Judge, since you're still on here, I want you to shout out your information and things like that. And, people want to, get you on Twitter, et cetera, et cetera.
See this? I do a barbecue product, Judge Joe Brown Barbecue. We've got on board Beyonce's personal chef. Tiffany Haddish is an investor. We're in with a distillery doing whiskey. I'm advised that, and I've had samples. We're doing stuff with a winery. We've got Lynx, chicken, beef, and Beyond Meat, hot, mild, smoked, raw. We've got hot and mild barbecue sauce, spicy and mild barbecue sauce, and same with the seasoning / rubs, and we've got other products coming up. So we are ahead of our expectations. We're channeling all the money back into the business. And you can get us by going to the website, Judge Joe Brown, that's JJB Barbecue, BBQ. So it's JJB, followed by 2 more B's and a Q.com. And you can order it. You can get all of that stuff, or you can go to Amazon, and if you've got Amazon Prime, they will deliver to you within 2 days for free, and you can save yourself shipping. So we've been selling out on Amazon and having to send them restock supplies much more than anybody anticipated, and we are on the shelves in some parts of the country. It's kosher and halal, so eat without guilt. And it's good on French fries, potato salad. You can even make a hot Mary, and instead of using tomato juice for a Bloody Mary, you use the sauce. Pretty good. Favorite vodka and some ice.
Well, that's well, still pushing barbecue, so that's good. I know you on Twitter, Judge Joe Brown. X, my fault, X.
At Judge Joe Brown TV.
Yep, X. Make sure I get it right. I just, it used to be called Twitter. And I mean, you got a show, of course. So, you got a lot of things. You got a lot of things going on. I'm glad that you've been putting out this information on, because we've been knowing this about here for a long time. We've been calling this out. We've been calling out Black Lives Matter, et cetera, for a long time. So this is nothing new. And if Black Lives Matter about to come back on the men too. They're trying to draw these police things again to get that back on the men. But Kamala Harris is not going to do anything for our police. So you can bet your bottom dollar it's not going to happen. You might just go ahead and kick rocks on that. But Judge, tell me, what's up in closing. Tell me what's on your mind. And
okay, this is what's on my mind. It's disturbing me. I saw 55 years ago a whole lot of down brothers, doing down sisters, doing it for the cause, right? We got betrayed by pimps, simps, traders, and everything else who sold us out, informed, and everything else for personal advantage, money, or to talk their way out of a drug case or whatever the situation happened to be. I saw 50 years of glorified dysfunction until we are ideating on being pimps, hoes, drug dealers, gangsters, murderers, burglars, whatever it is, rapists, all kinds of freak, dysfunctional degenerates. And that's what we start thinking about. I listen to people who we would call Uncle Tom, handkerchief head, house Negroes, try to talk about the people who are telling them that they're being that. Oh, you're cooning. No, brother, you don't know what cooning is. You're cooning because you're so stuck deep up the white man's ass, you don't get it. And by the way, you're so focused on white men and white supremacy, you don't get it that the problem ain't really racism right now. That's a smokescreen because they're trying to convert you to the new religion, because guess what they're going to do with you? They're going to do the 6B on you. Unbelt you, drop your britches, drop your boxes, bend you over, spread your butt cheeks, and boy bang you. And that's what they're aiming for. So unless you are into that, you better do something about it, because they're going to take your guns, take your children. They already took your family away, took your woman away, took your job away now, taking your job away now. So you better get it together. It ain't about boogeyman Trump. He's not the Baba Yaga. He's just the man, and you got the sissies over there trying to get you away from manhood. So man the hell up, stand up. You don't belong to anybody. Just rebel. Hold your nose if you have to, and turn these buzzards out so they don't mess up the country anymore and mess up your own home life. Now,
yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Well, I'm glad you came on. And like I said, the brother, he liked talking to you, whatever. So keep it a good fight, brother. Like I always say, keep it a good fight. Keep telling it like it. Let people know that Miss Harris is not for you, and like you just keep on putting the information on Twitter, because it's resonating with a lot of people. So shout out to you. Always, we'll catch back on the other side. Take your time. Have a good night.
2 thumbs up. Yeah. Okay. I'm out of here. All right.
Take your time.